When I switch from the Common tab to the Arnold Renderer tab, what I'm really going to focus on is sample settings. And I've already switched this up so that it is a 1920 by 1080 render, which is very large. And I can see if I look over here that my render is taking 1 minute and 11 seconds, which is fine for a single frame render. That is totally within norm. I've done renders that take up to 20 minutes before, and the render time that you get in professional settings is ridiculous. Like the Marvel movies, each individual frame can take up to 1,000 hours. But because they render across a render farm, that time is cut down by the number of servers that they're using to render. So render time is another big topic item. Because we're only looking for 2 images to come out of this, I want them to be 2 really good, really high quality images. And the trouble that I'm having as a demonstrator is that these already look pretty good. So even if I zoom in on this, it takes a while before I really start seeing a lot of pixelization. And the thing that your sample settings are supposed to do is they're supposed to increase the overall quality of your image. So I may not even be able to show you much here, but if you're seeing an image where the outer shape of an object is really jagged, or you're losing a lot of detail in your texture map, at that point sample settings are going to come in really handy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save a snapshot of this image. So this is my 1 minute 11 second render, and then I'm going to come back in here. Now within sampling, it looks like there are a whole bunch of really confusing numbers, and as a shortcut, the only one we're going to care about is camera AA. AA stands for anti-aliasing, and anti-aliasing is generally a tool where when you switch between vector and raster, anti-aliasing smooths the edges of the vectors so that they look less jagged. The higher I turn this camera AA, the higher all of these numbers are going to go. So in truth, camera AA serves as a multiplier for the rest of the sample types. With that said, there's a whole bunch of complex math involved, so this 3 isn't actually a 3, it's a 3 cubed, which is 9. So diffuse isn't actually 2, it's 2 cubed, which is 4. So truly I am creating 9 times 4, or 36 samples of diffusion, which is your base color, on a per pixel basis, which should give me a fair bit of accuracy. But again, if you're not seeing accuracy, if you're seeing a bunch of jagged lines, go ahead and turn AA up. Go really slowly, because every time you do this, it will increase your render time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this up to 5. That's going to start my render running. I will pause my recording and come back when this is done. So let's turn this up. And then you can see the render starts. Let me pause. Okay, I'm back. So this render with 5 anti-alias samples took almost 3 minutes. So my original render took a minute and change. This new render close to 3. In the render view window, because I took that snapshot earlier, I'm going to right click on it and set as A. And you'll see that puts this little line across the screen. This side is A, which is the 1 minute render. This side is B, which is the 3 minute render. And as I click and drag these little dots, I should be able to see any differences between A and B. And I know I'm not seeing much right now. Let's see if I zoom in, like right here. Yeah, I'm still really not seeing, like it's gonna get a little cleaner on the B side, but just a little smidge cleaner. Like it's cleaning up this little dark spot. So it is better, but is it 2 minutes worth of better? That's the big question that I have to ask myself. And for you, for your image, it might be. For me, for my image, I just don't know. I don't know if it is. But since I rendered it, you're going to keep going. I'm going to clear A. This is just the B render, the 2 minute 57 second render. And since I rendered it, I spent all of the time They both look pretty good. I'm happy with both of them. So I'm going to take this one and I am going to export it by going to the render view window and running File, Save Image. I'm just going to put mine on my desktop because that's where I put all my stuff. So I'll call this one Flower Project Close-Up and say Save. And I will be perfectly happy with that. And now I'm going to go back. I'm going to try the same settings on my full vase render, and we'll see how that looks too. Again, I'm not going to make you sit through it because it's like 3 minutes long, but ultimately I'm going to get two nice images out of this. So I will pause my recording. I will be right back. Well, this render only took 1 minute and 16 seconds, probably because I'm not looking as closely at any of the flowers. So I'm going to take this. This is my full image. We're just going to go File, Save Image, and go back to the desktop. What was the last one called? The last one was called Flower something. Flower Project Close-Up. Let's call this one Flower Project Full. Or since we're being kind of camera-ish, Wide Shot. And we'll save that there. Now I know when you do this, it looks like it's going to make one of these many types of files. It's making a JPEG. You can't set this. It's just going to make you a JPEG, which is fine. All of our purposes will be served with a JPEG. That's okay. So I've got my two JPEGs saved. I'm going to head out to my horrible, disgusting desktop, and let's just do a quick little open. I've been opening them in Acrobat for some reason, but let's open with Photos. And there's my close-up. It looks just like what I was seeing in the render view. And we'll open this one same way. Just go to Photos. And there's my full shot. So those are great. I'm super happy. When you get two images that you are just as happy with, you're going to post them in the Canvas discussion forum so we can all take a look at everybody's flowers and see how great they look.